Are you considering becoming a foster parent with the Department of Social Services? Well, welcome to our information video for the Midshore region. This is the first step in your journey to becoming a foster parent, and we hope that this video gives you some insight into our program and to determine if this is the right program for you and your family. Thank you for your interest in becoming a resource parent. The Department of Social Services of the Midshore region welcomes you. Our mission at the department is to recruit and train families who have the ability, willingness, and resources to provide ongoing support and daily care to children who have been separated from their families, and in addition, be a resource to the entire family by supporting reunification. This video is an informational video to give you more information about resource parent training, the family assessment and home study process, and more insight into what becoming a foster parent looks like. We will discuss the specific needs of resource homes in our area. The agenda for this video includes an overview of our program. We will discuss Kin First, the NTDC pre-service training, the family assessment and home study process, the safety requirements of a home, state laws and regulations, your responsibilities as a resource parent, what supports are available to you, and what's next. What are you going to do after this video is over? Foster care or out-of-home care is intended to be a safe, loving, nurturing home for children who must live away from their family due to abuse, neglect, or a family crisis. Foster care allows children to live in a healthy, loving, and supportive environment until they are reunified with a parent, a relative, or another permanency plan is achieved. Family foster care is an essential service for children and parents who must be separated while maintaining legal and usually affectionate ties. The primary goal of family foster care is to safely reunify children with their families. Resource parents are asked to allow children into their home and hearts and provide ongoing support and love until the children can be reunified with their parents or family members. It is important to understand that the Department of Social Services is not a private adoption agency. In the Department of Social Services program, there are no children who are legally free for adoption, waiting to be adopted. Adoption is a possibility, however, adoption can only be achieved by adopting through family foster care. When a child enters foster care, there is no way of knowing if that child will be reunified with their family or if they will need a forever family through adoption. All children must first be fostered while a reunification plan with a family is being worked on. Typically, children must be in foster care for at least 15 months before a plan can change to adoption. If you are mainly looking to adopt and are not open to fostering children to help them reunify with their family, then this program is not a good fit for you. Children and teens who are in foster care can range from ages birth to 21. The children come from a range of cultural and religious backgrounds. Sibling groups range from 2 siblings to 6 or more siblings can come into out-of-home care, and the department will do the best we can to keep these siblings placed together. Youth in care can be within the LGBTQ+ community. We have had medically fragile or medically complex children who come into out-of-home care and will require parents to take special care of those medical needs. All youth in the out-of-home care have experienced trauma, and this often goes hand in hand with them needing extra support to meet mental health needs. When becoming a foster parent, it is important to understand how children enter into foster care. Children can enter foster care through Child Protective Services. This is when there is an immediate safety risk and the child must be removed from the home immediately because of a Child Protective Services investigation finding. CPS investigations are initiated by a report called into the agency regarding physical abuse, neglect, sexual abuse, or a risk of harm. Children can come into foster care through what we call in-home family services. This is when the agency is working with the family who needs extra support in getting services, meeting goals, and following a plan to ensure no additional safety risks arise. If the family is not cooperative with the department, they are not meeting goals, they're not following the plan, and safety risks persist, the youth will be removed at that time. The last way that a child can enter through into foster care is transitioning from a higher level of care. A child who is leaving a diagnostic center, a mental health facility, or a group home and needs to transition into a home setting but cannot yet go home back to their family of origin home safely. Often a child in this situation is under a voluntary placement agreement or a VPA, where the parents agree to place the child in the care and custody of the department. In all of these circumstances, when the child enters out-of-home care, the primary plan will be reunification. The department will also search for and prioritize placement with kin or family by choice before a non-relative foster parent. You will learn more about this in depth during the training courses. You may or may not have heard of the Kin First initiative in the state of Maryland. And what does this mean? So Maryland is a kin first state, meaning that the department will prioritize and support the placement of children in out-of-home care with relatives, kin, or other individuals who have a close relationship with a child or with the child's family. There are separate licensing standards for kinship caregivers, yet kinship caregivers are approved to access the same supports that non-relative foster parents are, such as a monthly care stipend and training resources. The department must diligently search for kin throughout the life of the case, even if there are no available kinship caregivers at the time the child is in need of placement originally. Kin does not always mean by blood relative. Under this standard, a kin can be anyone whom the child or the family is close with. In order to become a foster parent, all individuals must complete the pre-service training. This training is provided by the department and is offered to you at no cost. All materials needed to complete the training, such as your training booklet, are going to be provided in advance by the department. This training is called NTDC, which stands for National Training and Development Curriculum. The topics covered during the training include reunification. What does that mean? How do you have to support it? We talk about foster care, which is a means to support families, how you can help maintain children's connections, understanding parenting a child with a history of sexual trauma, attachment, the attachment cycle, child development, separation, grief, and loss, trauma-related behaviors, and trauma-informed parenting, cultural humility and parenting in diverse families, mental health considerations. We will talk about preparing you as a foster parent to manage intrusive questions from others, and how you can create a stable, nurturing, and safe home environment. The number of sessions in the training, dates, times, and number of classes per week do vary. The Midshore region holds 2 full training sessions per year, but there are opportunities to be trained in other counties depending on availability. Please speak with your local assigned caseworker about upcoming trainings. There are a few ground rules you should know about the training before starting. First, participants must be engaged in participating in order to receive credit. This training is meant to encourage group discussion, and it is highly recommended that you participate in order to process the information to the fullest extent possible. If training is held virtually, you will need to be on camera. You must be present on camera for the entire duration of the class. If you are in a couple, you may both be on camera together so long as you are both visible. Childcare arrangements should be made in advance. Children will not be permitted to sit in a class in person and should not be listening to this content. You must be able to commit to all the classes in a session. The classes are not recorded and there are no makeup sessions held in the Midshore region. After you have completed the NTDC pre-service training, you will then begin the family assessment or home study process. The department allows for this process to be completed in 120 days or 4 months from the day that you sign the application. This is not always the same exact day that you complete the training. The assessment consists of gathering paperwork and completing personal interviews between you and the resource home's caseworker. The assessment includes background clearances. All adult household members will need to undergo state and federal criminal clearances, child protective services clearances, sex offender registry search, and a child support clearance, and an MVA clearance. Medical assessments for all adults and children living in the home. The department will provide you with a form for you to submit to your doctor to fill out. You must submit verifications of rabies vaccinations for any dog or cat in the home. You must provide 3 references, and separately school references will be checked for all school-aged children. You must provide verification of auto insurance that is up to date, proof of income for each working resource parent, and there will be 2 to 3 interviews per parent. These interviews will discuss personal information such as your childhood experiences, relationships with your parents, your relationships with extended family and in-laws, your coping skills, what your expectations of a child are, your knowledge of trauma, marital relations, divorces if applicable, employment, personal goals, and more. So they are very in-depth interviews. The caseworker will assess your home to ensure it meets all fire safety standards by completing the fire safety survey. The survey includes ensuring that there are smoke detectors in each bedroom, each sleeping area, and on each level of the home. The smoke alarms will be tested by the caseworker and need to be either hardwired or equipped with the 10-year lithium batteries. Each bedroom must have 2 ways of escape, a window and a door, which must be free of objects blocking the exit. Windows for escape must be the standard size windows. Each home must have a fire extinguisher. Included in the fire safety survey is to determine if the home has at least 1 working carbon monoxide detector. This must also be tested by the caseworker. If the home has gas appliances, gas heating, etc., then there must be 1 carbon monoxide detector on each level of the home and outside sleeping areas. An emergency evacuation plan must be posted in a common area. A list of emergency phone numbers must also be posted in a common area, and each home must have first aid supplies. As a foster parent, you must ensure that the home is well maintained. So you may not have any broken windows, any broken doors or steps. Your home is not allowed to have any holes in the roof, holes in the floor, the walls, or the ceilings. There may not be any peeling or flaking paint, plaster, or wallpaper. The home may not have exposed wiring or unsafe extension cord wiring. No rodent or pest infestations. The home must not have any mold, and there may not be extreme debris or clutter. Your caseworker is going to assess for all of this, likely at that first in-home consultation, and then again each time they visit the home. The state has Code of Maryland regulations that apply to foster homes. These are regulations that must be followed, and more discussion around these items will be had during your training and during your family assessment. Starting with, you may not use any physical discipline. It will be important for all foster parents to manage challenging behaviors in a trauma-informed manner. All blinds in the home must be cordless, or the home may use curtains. There may not be any unsecured cords, beads, ropes, or strings of any kind. This is a regulation no matter what age of children you are considering. All providers will need to obtain a CPR training. There are special requirements for pools, hot tubs, and waterfront property. Smoking is prohibited in the presence of foster children in the foster home and in vehicles, and this includes both cigarettes and vaping. All children must have their own bed. Children may not share a bed with another child or an adult at any time. Special considerations for foster parents who are duly licensed as a child care home. So this should be discussed more with your caseworker and with the MD State Department of Education, where the daycare license is obtained if this applies to you. Children in foster care must be given appropriate luggage when moving between houses. Therefore, moving using trash bags is prohibited. Prior approval must be obtained before traveling out of the state with the child for more than just a day. Resource parents have responsibilities to the child in the out-of-home care, responsibilities to the child in out-of-home care's family, and responsibilities to the department. So, to the child, a parent shall participate in and provide transportation to the child's mental health, physical health, dental care, and education. It is important for you as a parent who cares for this child daily to be present for appointments and educational activities and meetings. The department can assist with transportation at times, but it primarily falls on foster parents to have flexible schedules, reliable and legal transportation to meet the child's needs. A foster parent should be providing daily essentials and basic care to the child. Foster parents should involve the child in family activities. You need to respect the child's family of origin. A foster parent should not be speaking negatively about a child's birth family or family of origin. The foster parents should acknowledge the child's family of origin as a part of that child's family. Foster parents need to be respectful to the child's culture, race, customs, religious beliefs, sexual orientation, and gender identity. You also have responsibilities to the child's family of origin, which includes serving as a role model for the child's family. Foster parents are often a positive resource to the entire family, not just to the child in care. Foster parents should provide updates about the child to the child's family when appropriate. Foster parents need to support the plan of reunification. When a child enters foster care, the goal is to work toward the child being reunified with their family of origin. Foster parents are expected to be supportive of this goal. One way to do that is to support family visits. So as a foster parent, you should ensure that the child is ready for the visits, that the child is sent with all supplies to make the visit a success, that the child is on time for a visit, and to support the child in their emotional needs after a visit is concluded. As a foster parent, you have responsibilities to the department. You essentially work for the department and are an extended person of the department. So you should attend meetings at the local department as needed. Foster parents need to work as a member of a professional team. So as a foster parent, you are a valuable member of the professional team surrounding the child and the family. There will be many individuals that you are supposed to work with along the way, such as court-appointed advocates, attorneys, teachers, therapists. Interaction should be conducted in a professional manner. And you also lastly need to keep the department updated to any changes. The department should be made aware of any changes in your household composition, any major home repairs, if you move, get a new job, etc. The department should be made aware in any change to the child's actions, behaviors, etc. We understand that this may seem like a lot to take on, but we want you to know that you will not be alone. There are supports available to a licensed foster parent, which includes the resource home caseworker. This is going to be your worker. This is the person that's there to support you. Make sure that you are getting what you need to care for the child in your home. In addition, you have the foster child's worker. So the foster care worker's job is to make sure the child has what they need. This worker is the one that will be visiting the child in your home once a month. This individual is your main point of contact for anything involving the child. We have resource parent support groups. There is a virtual support group that meets monthly, which you will be eligible to join once you are licensed. We have the Maryland Resource Parent Association, which is a hub of information and training to answer any and all questions that may arise for you as a licensed provider. With consent, all licensed homes' contact information is sent to Maryland Resource Parent Association upon licensure, and then you will have access to all that MRPA has to offer. There is a resource parent ombudsman. So this is a state employee that you may contact for questions and concerns. We have what's called CASE, Center for Adoption Support and Education. They offer a range of services to individuals that have been adopted. This is support that you can receive at any time post-adoption, even if the child's case has been closed. And lastly, there's additional training that the state offers. We offer free training. There's free trainings on the NTDC website that are not covered in the initial pre-service training. There's potential to attend conferences. The ideas are endless, but we're going to support you no matter how you need what you need. Okay, you've reached the end of the video. You're like, now what do I do? What's next? So after watching this video, make sure that you get in contact with your local licensing caseworker. Let them know that you are still interested, you want to move forward to the next step in the process. The next step is going to be for a caseworker to schedule an in-home consultation with you. In-home consultations are the first formal meeting in person of the local department caseworker. So this is likely the same person who will be completing your home study. So it's a chance for you guys to get to know each other. The caseworker will want to complete a full tour of your home to check for any safety concerns and observe where you plan to have the children in foster care sleep. This will be a chance to learn more about the training process and to ask any lingering questions. If there are no noted issues, you will then be invited to attend the next training session. We look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.